The crowd murmurs blend with the flash of cameras. A charity event in New York is swarmed with media and formalities. Donald Trump steps off the stage after giving a speech in support of veterans. Just then, a man in a worn-out jacket, his face weathered with dirt and fatigue, pushes through the crowd. In his hand is a cracked cardboard cup. His hair is messy, his gaze distant but determined. "Mr. President, do you remember me, Commander?" Trump pauses. The voice echoes like something from the past. Security moves in quickly, but Trump raises his hand. "Stop, let him speak." The man steps forward, extending his hand. His fingers tremble in the cold. "Iraq, 1991. You shook my hand and said, 'You're a solid man.' I never forgot that day, but I guess you forgot me." Trump narrows his eyes. A flicker of recognition sparks in his memory. The man's face, vaguely familiar but unclear. Security hesitates. The man continues. "Name's Mike Thompson. Former Marine, 243rd Battalion. We came back after the war, but life didn't take us back. Now I'm here, and all I want is for someone to remember me." The crowd falls silent. The mic slips from Trump's hand and hits the floor. In that moment, a simple handshake doesn't just bring back the past, it pulls a buried conscience into the light. The event ends. Trump sits in his limousine, silent. His eyes are still staring into nothing. One of his aides tries to break the silence. "Sir, homeless people always show up at these things. It's nothing. Don't overthink it." But Trump doesn't respond. Only one sentence keeps echoing in his mind. "You're a solid man." The next morning, Trump instructs his private team to find the man. Name: Michael A. Thompson. In old records, he's listed as former Marine, twice decorated for duty. But in more recent files, he's been categorized differently. Unregistered homeless individual, pending mental health evaluation. Trump studies archived photos. A young soldier, smiling from the edge of a trench. Standing beside him, Trump himself. The photo was taken during a 1991 military base visit. That moment clicks. This man, he was really there. Trump gets into his car. He reviews current reports on homeless veterans living in public parks. Finding Mike isn't just a gesture anymore. It's a reckoning. And maybe a second chance to truly see a man again. Mike's story appears in a few scattered reports and case notes, but no file can truly capture the emptiness he's been living in. Eventually, Trump and one of his aides find him sitting alone on a bench in the back corner of Central Park. In his hand, a rusty coffee cup. Draped over his knees, an old military jacket. His eyes are distant, but burning. Trump approaches. Mike lifts his head, squints. Recognition flickers, but there's no reaction. Not until Trump quietly sits beside him. "Mike, now you remember me, Commander." Trump can't find words, but Mike speaks as if he's been rehearsing this moment for years. "I came back after the war. No job, no help. My mind was still over there. But this place had moved on. I couldn't sleep. The noise terrified me. Then people started being terrified of me." Mike pulls out a crumpled photograph. A young man in uniform, holding a child in his arms. "That's me and my son. That was the last moment we shared. Now I don't even recognize myself. I look in the mirror and feel like I don't exist." Trump doesn't look away because he's no longer seeing one man's collapse. He's witnessing a nation's neglect. Mike continues. "The day you shook my hand, there was hope. But the years passed, and hope froze on the streets." Trump swallows hard. For the first time without a campaign, slogan, or PR script, he makes a decision just by looking a man in the eyes. "This war shouldn't end with you, Mike. This country owes you more than silence." The following morning, Trump faces a wall of microphones and flashing cameras. He speaks just one sentence, but it lands like thunder. "Once we led them into battle, it's time we lead them back home." Through his foundation, he announces a new initiative, Forgotten Soldiers, a nationwide campaign for housing, therapy, and employment support aimed at homeless veterans. The headlines light up, newsrooms buzz, but amidst all the applause, Mike stays quiet until he's asked to give a statement. He steps up to the microphone, clears his throat, and looks directly at Trump. "This can't just be about me, sir. There are thousands out there. Same boots, same battles, same nightmares. What we need isn't just charity. It's to be seen again. So I ask you, will it be for them too, Commander?" Trump doesn't respond right away. He walks off without a word. But early the next morning, a new sign appears outside a building on 6th Avenue. Simple, but bold. "This door reopens for those America forgot, like Mike." Inside, the shelter is modest, but clean. Warm meals, real beds, counselors. For the first time in years, Mike takes a hot shower. Steam rises, washing years of silence from his skin. A new set of clothes, a fresh shave. He stands before the mirror. "Feels like someone gave me a new face," he mutters, hands trembling slightly. But the war's still inside. Later that afternoon, Trump arrives. The grand opening is flooded with media, but he doesn't speak to them. He walks straight to Mike. This man gave everything. Now it's our turn to give back. A reporter shouts a question. Is this a political move? Trump ignores it. Mike answers instead, standing tall. "This isn't politics. It's a promise, finally kept." They cut the ribbon together. Cameras click. But for Mike, none of that matters. What matters is that he's no longer a ghost. That evening, Mike sits in the shelter's common room. Around him are other veterans, some with canes, some with silence in their eyes, all with memories too heavy to carry alone. Mike starts a conversation, then another. He tells his story, and suddenly, other men begin sharing theirs. That night, something shifts. Because that building wasn't just a shelter made of bricks, it became a space made of recognition, respect, and repair. And as the last light flickers out in the hallway, a quiet thought echoes in Mike's mind. Maybe I was never broken, just left behind. But now, someone had come back for him. And not just him, all of them. Months have passed, but some wounds don't heal with time. They heal through people. Mike now lives at the newly opened shelter in the city. He wakes up at the same time every morning, drinks coffee in the garden with younger veterans. He still wakes up at night. His hands still tremble sometimes. But now he's not alone. He's no longer just a homeless man. He's a mentor, a friend, a voice for those who've served. To every new veteran who arrives, he says one thing: don't forget your name. Even if the country does, if you remember, you're still standing. On the back of the gray sweatshirt he wears every morning, there's a single line of text: "Do you remember me, Commander?" It's not just a question for Trump anymore. It's a question posed to a system, a society, and a collective memory. One day, Trump returns to the shelter. No press, no cameras. He quietly sits next to Mike, reaches out his hand. This time, Mike smiles softly. "Don't call me Mike anymore. I'm the voice of the 243rd Unit, and we're still here." Trump nods. The words don't just belong to one man. They carry the weight of both past and future. That day, a new message is pinned to the shelter's bulletin board. A handshake is not just recognition. It's the right to be remembered. In the final shot, the camera pans to the same park bench where Mike once sat, alone. Now it's empty, but no longer silent. A small plaque reads, "This bench is dedicated to a soldier once forgotten, but never again." And in the background, a familiar voice echoes, Trump's voice. A single sentence can change a life. A handshake can reconnect us to our past. And a true leader remains on duty even after the war's over. Because some battles end on the field, but the real mission begins when our heroes return home. And sometimes, a sentence that starts with "Commander" is what reminds a nation, who have we left behind?